Hi everyone, welcome to another conversation with the Lees. Now today we're going to have a conversation with our children, and they're going to be answering the question about being Christians, or well, Michael has not yet decided to be a Christian just yet. I hope he will. But Jada will speak about being a Christian, living with Christian parents. Both of them will talk about living with Christian parents. Oftentimes, Christian children don't get a chance to express themselves. So we thought it'd be good to hear their views, and trust me, they're going to be brutally honest, and we have grown them to be honest and to speak their minds. So let's hear what they have to say, all right? Next faces you'll see with that of the children. See you on the other side. You guys look all right.
What's your definition of all right?
All right. You might be too far. Relax yourself. Relax. Okay? So, we're going to say, welcome to another conversation with the Little Lees. How about that?
Nope. Fist bump.
How about that? That cool? Fist bump.
No.
Team, tag team. You ready?
Cut the camera.
I'm sure you man. Ready?
Yes.
So, 1, 2, 3. Hi guys, welcome to another. Like seriously? Conversation with the Littlies. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so good. All right. So, let us start with Jordan. Jordan, focus on the camera. Okay, so Jay, tell us about your experience being Christian at school. When did you get saved? How old were you, and so forth?
Well, at my school, it's a Christian school. Well, it is a Christian school, so there's a lot of teenagers like me who are Christians. A lot of them are different personalities, but similar beliefs are shared. So whenever it comes to like having stress with school or exams are coming up, we almost always say the same thing: put it to God, do our best, and let God do the rest. And honestly, not to put too much pressure on ourselves, because one of the best is good enough, which is also something that my mom would tell me, always tells me. I think I got saved. Well, I think I got saved almost 10 years ago. So when I was 7, I got saved around 2010, I think. From then on, I thought I got saved pretty young compared to everyone else. Because when I went to high school, a lot of my friends were saying, well, they were asking me, yeah, Christian, don't. You have that thing about you. And then they asked me when I got baptized. I said, when I was 7, I said, 7? I'm not going to baptize until I know God, and like I'm ready for like stuff to give up on like parties and such. So I was like, okay. So many of teenagers my age, I like to start at high school, they'd be like, I'm gonna get baptized, but when I'm ready. I don't want to backslide. Like the number one reason why they didn't want to baptize yet, because they were afraid of backsliding.
Alright, so we're gonna come back to that. Michael, how are you?
Not good.
Okay. What is it like being living with your parents who are Christians? What is it for you? How is it for you?
Crazy.
All right, explain crazy. So explain what you mean by crazy.
I don't know.
So it's not crazy then. Honestly, what is it like for you?
Crazy.
Why is it crazy? All right, so Jordan, let's begin by telling everyone about you in terms of who is Jordan, what are your likes, your dislikes, how early you got saved, just a small introduction.
Well, you'd think for a teenager it's hard to put everything into one, but my life is pretty simple. grew up with parents who were Christians. So I got saved when I was young, just like my parents, but they were a little older than me. So I got saved at 7. And growing up, I thought that at the time, everybody around me, but most of the adults, they were getting saved and they were in the spirit. So I thought it was so weird. But then it was them expressing themselves, and like it was sort of, at the time, it seemed like evidence that they were saved, meaning that when they die, they go to heaven. And I was very incorporated into every Sunday school lesson. So I'd be taking notes and I'd be understanding what they meant about tongues and the Holy Ghost and the Holy Spirit and everything. So I really wanted to know that my soul would be safe. Because as a child, when you hear things about the devil and God and pick a side, I was like, I have to pick the right side because I don't want to die. So like, yeah, I got saved when I was young. And growing up now,
So you question, because a lot of young people, their parents would force them to get saved or force them to get baptized. What was it for you? Because you're going to be brutal honest now.
Well, I'm not the clearest, but I don't remember them ever forcing me. I just remember them teaching me like what they have learned. So like if I had a question with the Bible, my dad especially, he kept reminding me to read the Bible and bring his questions to him, because he wanted me to know why my mom and dad were living so just, that they were so humble, and they wanted me to understand what living as a Christian or as a child of God was like. They didn't want me to just think of it as a title. They wanted me to know the meaning and understand the weight of the title, because being a Christian isn't easy and different people have different experiences. But as I was young, I didn't experience anything. I wasn't old enough to know what experience really means. Well, I didn't know what it meant, but in the sense of what people would go through and how they'd come to God in the end. So I came to God early, and then as a teenager right now, or earlier, because I'm almost 18, I started to realize what they meant about really sticking to God's promises and reading the Bible and following His word. Because a lot of, even at my school, when I told them that I was baptized and saved already, they said, some of my friends were like, I don't want to get baptized yet because I'm afraid of backsliding. But to go back to a little bit about me, right now, if you were speaking to like a 10-year-old Jordan, she'd probably tell you things that I love Digi Channel, I love chocolate cake, I love like a lot of childish things, because yeah, when you're 10 you're still childish, but right now I'm getting older. My likes and dislikes are pretty almost black and white. And my taste buds have changed, so I like more spicy things now than mild. I watch shows like sci-fi or sometimes romantic comedy, but I really like comedic movies. Yeah.
So what is it like growing up in a Christian home? Though your two parents are Christians, you'd have heard of children who are not saved and how their parents grew them. So do you find any difference between what you hear and what you're experiencing with two Christian parents?
So what I would hear is that Christian parents are uptight. They're normally rich, or they normally feel like they're above all else, and that's really not the case with my family. We're like any other family in the sense that they're not too strict. They're very understanding.
Talk your truth, you know.
They're very understanding. Like if I have a dispute with any one of them, I'll get emotional, they'll control the situation, telling me to calm down, and then think about what I'm saying and say it, but don't be disrespectful. When it comes to school, I used to even cry about my grades. I'll get a certain talking to, but like even they would say that not to cry about something that can be changed, that can be improved, because it's already, what you've done in the past is in the past. You can only do better in the future. And like as Christian parents, they've taught me to be humble, to just calm down, do your best, and don't stress about it as much as, don't stress about it. As behavior wise, there's nothing out of the ordinary in my household actually. There's
So
really
what
nothing out of the
about
ordinary.
so what about when your parents have disagreements? How do you handle that? Because I think we have been straight up with our friends here to tell them that yeah, we do have disagreements. How do you see those disagreements?
Well, I had a talk with my dad a while back when I was having a disagreement with my mom, and honestly, I realized, or whenever there was like a spectrum from when I was a kid, like Michael's age to now. So like Michael's age, every time they have a disagreement, I thought they would break up, or I thought that something would go wrong, and like I would cry myself to sleep sometimes because I'd have to be wondering why, if they're Christians and they don't have, at the time they didn't really understand the affair issue, but they don't have affairs, they don't curse. My mom and my dad never lays a hand on my mom, so why are they fighting as much? Sorry. So right there, I understood that even though my parents are Christians, they're still human beings, and the flesh is one thing that's hard to battle. So they will have arguments like normal human beings, normal married couples. So like even now, like how I'm talking to you and I'm analyzing, I don't analyze it, like even myself, because sometimes I would try to work out the problem in my mind. I would like categorize them from stupid to serious. And most of the times they're in the middle. They can be about, these arguments can be the simplest of things. So it's like, I don't know, I no longer think that they're gonna get divorced. I just think that it's all about communication and understanding and listening and not speaking at the same time. I usually have that problem too. But when I mean speaking at the same time, I mean listen to each other, because many times you could be saying the same thing, but if you're saying it at the same time, it can just be discombobulated and it makes more anger come between them.
Okay. So out of the two parents, I'm gonna ask you some quick questions. Out of the two parents, who is the disciplinarian?
The disciplinarian to us.
Yes.
To me.
Yeah. In your opinion.
Well, when dad is not here, mom is the disciplinarian. Wait. Okay, what she normally say? She'll talk about it and she'll say her piece. But then what the line I always follow back is, when your father come, he'll sort this out. When your father come, he'll talk to you.
So who's the
So that, I guess, they're both disciplinarians, but you know, like when you're in court.
Good cop, bad cop.
When you're in court, when you're in court, I don't even know how it goes, but there's the jury, and then there's the judge. So mom is the jury, and dad is a judge. He'll make the final say.
Alright. So it's not good cop, bad cop, but it's
really.
Judge and jury.
Judge and jury, yeah.
Alright, cool. Out of the two, who is more mushy or lovey-dovey to you, like toward you?
Well,
or towards you both of you?
Nowadays, when I come to mommy with a hug, she say, "Why you hug me up so much?"
What's your word?
What you want? When I'm ready to hug you up, you always in a mood, which is true. So I think that is
Survey says
that is more mushy. That is more mushy, especially when he's coming in the night. He'll just say things off, but like, "Oh, you're so beautiful. You're making me now." I'm like, like, even if they are true, jeez.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, you just hear that, and you're trying not to blush. But anyway.
Between your mom and dad, who is more neat?
Survey says,
Mom.
Hello,
Like seriously?
it's me.
I said that in like 1 second, right, Mom?
Alright, cool.
In all the aspects, actually. Yeah.
Alright, between your mom and dad, who would be the one that you run to first with situations? Or it depends?
It depends. It really depends. It depends who is here, actually. But then again, it does really depend on who is here, because I'll be texting Daddy. Okay, two things. It depends who is in the situation with me, or who I'm angered with, or whatever situation it may be. It depends who is in it with me, Mom or Dad, or if it's not anybody. If it's not in either of them, I think I'll go to Mom first, because I think I go to mom first and then dad. But it really depends who I'm upset with or who I'm having the altercation with. Because it can be either. But if it's none of my
Yeah, what if
parents,
it's not an altercation? Lord have mercy.
what do you mean altercation? But really with me,
Like if you have issues, like whatever, school issues, boyfriend issues. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say that. Boyfriend issues. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say
basically it's school issues, so stress and everything. Yes, my mom is my confidant, and then there's other times when daddy's in the room and he'll hear me talking to mom. So yeah, more like the mom.
Okay.
We just start reasoning on it too. So mom.
All right. So, just a little bit more on school. What is it like? And I know you said that the school you attend, everybody really have similar. It's a Christian school, so persons have similar beliefs and so forth. What are the challenges you have had at school? I mean, even situation like
You
boys
know I
who
had to go
like
back
you
to
or
that.
who you have liked.
Why do I feel like this is kind of exposed me now?
And yeah, because I think we also want to help other teenagers to understand how to deal with certain things, and that you yourself you've experienced some stuff,
Okay, so what's the clear question?
So the first question: what are the challenges you have being at school, and don't be afraid to speak of boys who have liked you or who you have liked.
This. Okay, so as I said, whenever there's probably most times, there's grade 7 to 11. So grade 7 and 8, I was a novice to everything. So although I'm a Christian going into a Christian school, not everybody that goes to the school is Christian. So everybody is different. It's a mixture of people, mixture of religions. But the dominant one is Christianity, but there's secular people in general. So there'd be some people that I would become friends with that didn't really mean me well, that end up being all toxic to me, and then I wouldn't understand until something bad really happens. So even me, being in a new environment like that, I was overwhelmed, and I think one of these years I did look up my name, Jordan meant go with the flow. So like I'd literally be going with the flow sometimes, even into situations that is uncharted territory and I have no idea how to get out of. So there were times in grade 7 and 8 when I felt like, yes, there would be guys I would like.
What?
They have different qualities too, but it wasn't like I had a different guy that I like every grade. But yeah, alright. If you see this video, I hope he just laughs it off too. I'm not even gonna say his name, but there.
Oh yeah.
I used to like a boy whose Christianity was Rastafari.
I'm tell her,
Oh my gosh. So this was like
his religion.
this feels like decades ago. His religion was Rastafari, because I just